Hello guys, welcome to Nature's Garage. This is Suellio. I'm the crew chief for the Formula 1, Formula 3 and Formula 3.5. Today we're gonna see my lap here with a Formula 3 at Spa-Francorchamps. Let's go straight to the first corner, La Source. So here basically my reference is this little tire skid mark here. It's a little bit diagonal. Here is where I am probably going to have my maximum pressure. You can see I actually do start braking earlier than that, but then from here to here my pedal is building up. Actually, I don't think about that. I'm just punching the brakes as hard as I can, as quickly as I can, but because there is a little bit of time that my pedals resist, the distance between the start of the brakes and the actual maximum brakes will still exist a little bit, even though I'm braking as quickly as I can. So braking pretty hard, and then I really want to focus on the car stopping here. We're pretty quick, and the corner is slow, and we have a very long straight right after it. So basically what I want to do is do it as late as an apex as possible. So as you can see, I'm actually still braking. I'm still thinking about that late turn in. You can even see this as a reference here, this little dirt on the track. I'm actually still crossing it as I am turning in, so that's pretty late. And then what I really want to do is I want to be parallel quite late to quite latter part of this wall here, basically. So as you can see, I am turning in quite late, and then I'm parallel, let's say, to this part of the wall, not to this one. This is very common. People turn in a little bit too early, and at this point they are kind of parallel to this wall, and then they're pointing too much to the left here. So on the exit they end up losing a little bit of time. So I'm really trying to launch the car to the outside, to the exit, and have my car pointing as much to the right as possible at the moment I am crossing the apex here. You want to be as close as possible to the wall. I did miss it by a little bit there. And here what you can do is you can put the car, you can put basically the middle of the car. You can see this as the rain lights here as the middle of the car on this drain, but if you go, I don't know, 1 millimeter to the left of the drain, you will get an off track. So it's basically the middle of the car to the left of the drain. At this moment you can basically see how close I am to getting an off track, but I'm not getting one. Then we go basically just flat out here, flat out, turning as little as you can the steering so you don't scrub off too much speed with the front tires. As you can see here, I am actually turning in very early, so I don't need to turn a lot when I'm turning here, and I don't get enough track. I will only get enough track if, again, the middle of the car goes to the left of this white brownish, I don't know, part of the track. So here my braking reference is the middle of the curb, basically. I don't have a better reference than that. I basically use the middle of the curb, around the middle of the curb, to brake. I am braking on a straight line for a little bit of time because I need the car to stop a little bit before I start turning, and then I want to turn, and I want to keep turning. The thing here is that you really want to keep turning, so you don't go wide in this transition here. You want to have your car to close to the middle of the track, and then you want to change direction quite decisively for the next one. Again, I want to use a lot of this curb here, and I don't want to let my car run to the right at this place. So here you can really see how I'm not letting the car go to the right. I'm staying to the middle, max the middle because I want to bring the car a lot to the left so I can prepare this last corner flat out, basically. So I'm getting back in the throttle, I'm flat out here, and voila, I'm actually going full throttle all the way. Then for the next corner, I am using the beginning of the curb as a reference to start braking, although I'm not braking too hard because I brake at around, say, 55%, 50%, and then I'm already starting to churn. I'm really treating this as a double apex. This is my first apex. I'm still quite quick, and I really carry that brakes all the way into the actual apex that is here, the imaginary apex in between the two apexes of the corner. So first apex, then imaginary apex where I get back on the throttle, and then the second apex would be around here. So I'm basically carrying a lot of speed on the entry since it's a very long corner. Carry a lot of speed, keep braking, keep braking, keep braking. As you can see, I'm not coasting, I'm just carrying that little 5%, 4, 3, 2% of brakes, and then I'm transitioning immediately to the very aggressive throttle application. You can leave the car run wide here because you will have the time to bring the car back and prepare the next corner. On this one, I'm not braking, just a slight lift. Be sure that you're using the second layer of the curb here that pulls the car a little bit, and then you want to get back on the throttle quite aggressively as soon as you are over the curb. The throttle also helps the car rotating. So here, same thing, the middle of the car over this drain will give you an off track. So as you can see, I have even a little bit of room here. Then for this corner, I really want to use this entry curb so I can have a wider arc. Then I'm braking very slightly, and I want to get back on the throttle 1 or 2 cars before this this area of the curb where the grass is closer to the curb. As you can see here, we have a damaged grass, a lot of dirt, and here we have a little bit less. So that's the place where I want to be touching my car. Not actually using the curb at all, I'm just using the white line. This curb is a little bit off camber, it kind of pushes the car out, so you don't want to use that curb. And then here again, same thing, you can really get back on the throttle as early as possible, as well. If the car is not going to the outside here, that's perfect. That's exactly here you can actually see that I have a little bit of room, so I could have gotten on the throttle a little bit earlier. Then just staying here to the middle of the track since we don't need to use this exit here, and you end up gaining probably 1 or 2 hundredths. Then again, I'm using the beginning of the brake as a reference, the beginning of the curb as a brake reference. Although I'm not braking there, I'm braking a little bit gently here, and I want to have a very late but progressive churn in. I want to keep churning. I want to really keep churning all the way until the apex, until the end of this curb here. As you can see, I'm really not letting my car run wide to the left here because of the same reasons of the first S sector that we had there after the straight on the beginning of the track. I really want to have a good line for the second corner here. So as you can see, I'm staying very close to this right curb until the end, and then I change direction quite aggressively, and I want to really use this curb entirely and get back on the throttle aggressively. Again here, because I had a good rotation, I ended up not using all the way, so I could have carried a little bit more speed. As you can see, this was not a perfect lap. A perfect lap would be a lap where you're always having the middle of the car basically over the drain without getting off track. So here again, using all the curb on entry, turning in quite late because I want to punch the car out of this corner, so I can carry a lot of speed because there's a long straight after it. Then just flat out, blanchiment also flat out. And then for this corner, I'm using the curb as a reference, but that is quite late. So I'm actually braking before the curb, but I'm looking at it and I'm kind of calculating how distant I am to the curb when I start braking. My maximum pressure is around 2 or 3, maybe 4 cars distance. Yeah, 3 cars distance from the curb. Then I really wait the car to stop. As you can see, I'm braking for a long distance here, waiting. And I want to turn in again very late. Again, I want to stay to the right. As you can see, I'm turning quite late. I'm using this apex quite late, and I'm still turning to the right, because I really need to prepare this last one. So then I change direction quite aggressively, and I want to be as close as possible to the sausage curb here. And at the second apex, be sure that you're getting back on the throttle quite early, so you rotate the car with the throttle, not only with the front tires. So yeah, this was Spa with the Formula 3. Lap time was 2:11.756. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next week. Bye bye.